And we are live. Happy Friday, everybody. It's 10 o'clock. Had just a little bit of a technical issue. Hopefully, you can hear me on here. I'm not the best with technology. I've talked about this before, but my mouse died and then my keyboard died. I'm looking because it's all over here on my desk. So I was over here trying to figure out what I was going to do to fix these, but I got them fixed. And here we are. And we're on the line. Happy Friday. I know it's been raining the last 2 days, but as your trusted weather woman, it's not raining anymore today. It's going to be a high of 66 tomorrow as well. And the next week, oh my God, when I tell you that I saw 3 days next week, 71, 75, and 79. Whew. I am ready. Whatever this sun is about to do to me, burn me to a crisp. Oh, let's go with this weather. What are you guys doing this weekend? I hope you're getting ready for next week because it's the lift off. It is going to be so awesome. If you have not signed up for the lift off yet, make sure to use the code OXFIT Athlete for all of my OXFIT athletes to sign up. You guys, it is going to be amazing. We've got a food vendor. We've got 9 in the house. They'll be giving out free samples. And not only that, you get to hang out with your friends. And speaking of friends, look at this guy right here. Oh, hey, Nick. I'm so happy you're here. I feel like I haven't seen you all week at the gym. This is crazy. This is unfair. And no SPF. No, I'm bathing in those rays. Okay, I'm bathing in them, soaking them in, taking it all in. Oh, let's go. I need to grow these muscles. So I can't wear sunscreen if I'm going to grow these muscles. But you get to hang out with your friends. You get to PR your lifts, bench press, back squat, deadlift. Because remember, this is the only time we're going to do it. So if you're not in the lift off, you really are going to be missing out. I'm telling you, the best photos, the best videos. We have perfected setting up the stage for the liftoff. So it's like if you're looking for a new profile picture and you're over here deadlifting some heavy weight, I mean, this is going to be the event. And I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome to the show. Oh man, you guys. Speaking of, all right, we're 3 minutes in. Speaking of lifting heavy and getting strong, we're going to talk about one of my most favorite things today. I feel like I say that every Friday, but this is my lifelong mission. This is something that I've been working at for years, and this is actually what I specialize in: bulking. I know, damn batteries. It's all right. I brought batteries to the gym today, so we are thriving over here at East Atlanta. But ever since I joined the gym, OXFIT, back at the end of 2021, 2022, this has been my lifelong goal. Even now, as we're talking, I've had my goal setting session with my coach, and we've set my goals. And I'm getting absolutely not only jacked this year, I'm about to be deadlifting yo daddy. I'm about to be going to the store. I'm going to look at that guy and be like, I can back squat that guy, back squat that guy. Wait, give me one on the front, one on the back. I'll squat you both. All right. I'm telling you right now, this time next year, you ain't even going to recognize me. Why? Because you about to see me on the stage lifting some heavy weight. But when it comes to bulking, it is not an easy journey, and it's not for the faint of heart. And I say this as someone who has spent the last few years trying to get as big as possible. It is a journey full of ups and downs. And I'd be lying if at times it feels more like I'm down than I'm up. But with all of the experience that I've had over these last few years, and especially as a woman, That's why I've come to you with the 5 perfect tips to start your bulking journey. Now, this can be, like I said, this is for anyone, man, woman, male, female. If you're wanting to get big, then this is the podcast for you. So grab your notebook, grab a pen, get ready, maybe grab out a little iPad with a keyboard. Let's take down some notes, because as a professional in getting big, these are my top 5 tips. Number 1, and the ultimate tip, is get a coach. This is by far the best thing that you could do if you are starting your bulking journey. I can sit here and give you the easy tips, like eat more protein, train this way one day and train another way the next, but it's just not that simple. And you need a coach to not only help guide you along this journey, but they're going to know exactly what you need for you and your body and for your workouts. Gaining muscle, the right nutrition, intentional and specific programming, this is exactly what you get from a coach. And that's what we do here at OXFit, myself, Ant, Lauren, Savannah. We have literally perfected our coaching program that our clients achieve results that they're looking for within 2 months. Now, I'm not talking about becoming the Rock in 2 months, but I'm talking about being the healthiest and strongest version of yourself in 2 months. Speaking of, like I said earlier, next week is the OXFit Liftoff. I'm using it as a baseline to set myself up to see where I'm at now and then where I'm at the end of the year, because we do have some special events going on in my lifting club. If you're watching this right now, I've sent out emails this week to people who signed up for my club. If you're not at East Atlanta, maybe you haven't heard about it yet, but I've emailed some of my people at Grant Park as well. But I am starting the first official OXFit lifting club, because why not have fun with your friends, do fitness and lift heavy and have a great time and get jacked all together? Like, who wouldn't want to be part of my lifting club? Not only will it be the best time, but it will get you to those gains that you've been working towards. And plus, this lift off next week, we're going to have fun, lift heavy, and show off all of the gains that we just made this last cycle, because man, this last cycle was awesome. I mean, this whole week we've been lifting heavy, going for a 2-rep max, and people are doing their 1 rep for 3, their 1 rep for 4. They're over here hitting numbers that they never thought they could. But like, why are you surprised? Our head coach, Savannah, wrote this programming, and her programming is super specific, super intentional, so that you're able to see these results over the last 8 weeks. You're not just in here coming in and doing something all crazy. We're hitting it hard, and it is showing this week. So, number 1, get you a coach. Now, number 2, this is probably not something that I would say is something that your coach is going to help you with, but this is something that you have to do and learn for yourself, and that's patience and consistency. Like I said, I told you this journey is hard, and it takes motivation and dedication, because in the beginning, progress comes fast, and then all of a sudden you're like making these gains, you feel good, and then you hit a plateau. And sometimes it makes you just feel so defeated, and you're sitting there, you're like, man, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to work out. But one thing about coming to class and coming to this lifting club that makes it great is not only in those times that you feel defeated, will you have people around you who are going to be pushing you, holding you accountable, who are expecting to see you on the days that we have lifting club, expecting to see you on the days that we're in class. And I'm telling you, that feeling keeps you going. When we're in the middle of a workout and it's just hard and you're just feeling down and you can't see it, you feel like I can't keep going, man, you cheer on somebody else. It just gets you hype all. I'm telling you, because when you're feeling defeated and you're not feeling motivated, that's when that patience and consistency has to kick in. because it's not only physical patience, having patience for your physical build and what you're doing, but I'm telling you, it's mental. It's such a mental game because you have to do it on the days that you don't want to. And that's where that dedication comes in. And that's when having a coach comes in. Because when you have a coach, they're there holding you accountable, checking in with you throughout the week, checking in with you when you come to class, checking in with you when you come to lifting club. So they can have some patience and push for you as well. But in those times that you're just like, dang, I'm not going to make it today. And I'm going to tell you, I've been feeling that way lately too. I talked about that a couple podcasts ago where I just am like, man, I do not feel like going. And here I am, I'm showing up. And man, the gains that I'm seeing, it might not be necessarily that my shoulder caps are looking huge or that my biceps are looking bigger, which I mean, they kind of are. But I'm hitting these PRs in class that it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. It feels so good, right? Because I'm a coach and I have a coach. So if a coach has a coach, you definitely need a coach. Now, number 3, set clear goals and define what bulking means for you. Is it muscle gain? Is it strength gains? Is it more about physique? You need to be exact with what your goals are so that you are then able to set target goals along the way. We love little wins along the way. That's what keeps us going. If it's strength, you may not be as lean or as fit as you once were or right before that, but you can deadlift a car. Is it physique? So maybe you're not back squatting a house anymore, but your muscles are popping, you're super toned, you're defined, you're lean, you're looking, a little more bodybuilder-esque if that's what your goal is. You have to be specific about your goals because that is how you are going to manage your expectations along the way. I repeat, you have to have specific goals so that you can manage your expectations along the way. That way, you are able to see and celebrate yourself and those small wins, those lifts, those PRs along the way. Because without small goals, you're going to lose sight of your end goal, or worse, you're just going to give up. Because I get it. I struggle with perfectionism. And so when I'm trying to be this big brick house and I'm not seeing exactly what it is that I want to see, but then I have my coach, my husband, all the athletes that I'm working with, Savannah, Whitney, but then they're celebrating me and being like, oh my God, you did it. And you're like, oh, wait, I did just do something that I couldn't do before, or I did just lift a weight that was, that I kept bailing out of on my back squat. So setting these clear goals and defining exactly what it is that you want to see along your bulking journey, this is what's going to keep you motivated. This is what's going to keep you going. All right. And number 4, track your progress. All right. This is why number 1 of getting a coach is so important, because tracking your progress, like we do with our clients in their workbooks, as well as baseline and retest week in the gym, we are able to track all of your progress. You get to see it in an app. You get to see it in your workbook. And this goes along with number 3, because if you can't celebrate the small wins because you're tracking your progress, you're like, oh, well, I might have lost a couple inches, but now my biceps are bigger. If you're looking at measuring your progress, because a scale that will never, ever, ever give us our progress. But when we did baseline week, you could only bench press 85 pounds for 1 rep. But then at the end of the 8 weeks, you're at 105. How would you really know if we weren't actively tracking your progress? If you didn't have your baseline card, and if you weren't writing it down again during retest week and being like, oh my God, not only did I PR my lifts, but I did the workouts in class and I went up a level and still PR'd my previous time. But how would you know if you didn't have some way to track your progress. Hold on. I should have grabbed one of these, but I know there's one behind me. I'm going to grab it right now. These guys right here. This is how we're tracking our progress. All right. This was from the summer cycle. Max kipping pull-ups, max plank hold. We had cleanup in Rack City. Man, people were PRing these lifts by 30, 40 pounds within 8 weeks. Like, that is freaking ridiculous. And you know how you get there? Because you have a head coach who is giving you intentional programming. Now imagine if you're coming just to class 3, 4, 5 days a week and you're hitting these kinds of goals. Imagine what you could do with your own coach. Imagine if you were working one-on-one with a coach to actually hit your set, clear, specific goals. Imagine what that would do for you. You might be able to lose that 10 pounds that you've been trying to lose every single year for the last 5 years. You'll finally be able to get a strict pull-up. You'll finally be able to do toes to bar. This is what a one-on-one coach does for you. All right, so let's go back. If you're just joining us really quick, number 1, get you a coach. I want to underline this, italicize, highlight, big, bold letters. Get you a coach. You see, I mean, if you're on Instagram and TikTok, you see these bodybuilders, the rogue lifters, CrossFit Games athletes. Guess what they all have in common? A coach. They all have different goals, but the one thing they all have in common, a coach, because they need someone to get them there. That's why you come to Oxfit. All right. Not only do you come to Oxfit because all your friends come here and you know that you're going to get results, it's because you have a head coach, Savannah, who spends her time programming workouts. We spend time testing these workouts for you to do them. And that's why you're getting results. So imagine if you had your own coach. Number 2, practice patience and consistency. Man, you got to be patient to see these gains, because when I tell you they come quick and then you plateau and then you're struggling over here to see those gains again, it gets hard. And then it gets hard to be motivated and it gets hard to stay consistent. But that's why you have a coach. And that's why you come somewhere like Oxfit and surround yourself with like-minded individuals. Then number 3, we set clear, specific goals and we define what bulking means for us. All right. Are we bulking to add more strength? Are we bulking to look bulkier, to be more bodybuilder-esque like? Is it for our physique? All right. So you have to decide, is it muscle gains? Is it strength gains? Is it physical gains for your physique? What is it that bulking means to you? Because it is going to be different for everybody. And that's why having a coach is so important. Then we have tracking your progress. Because if you're not tracking your progress along the way, whether it's measurements, specific weightlifting goals, because we're not trusting the scale for anything. We're looking at, what we're doing in different workouts in our baseline week and retest week. You need to track your progress, because if you're not tracking your progress, then that mentality and that negativity is going to take over and you're going to feel defeated. And like I said, you'll just end up giving up, or you'll be like, oh, maybe I'll try this again another time. No, we're doing it. We're doing the damn thing. And lastly, eating. This is probably my favorite tip. Now, like I said, my first tip could have been eat more protein, make sure you have a lot of rest and recovery. But I just couldn't put it there because, yes, the eating part is essential because you have to eat to make gains, right? But the thing is, though, you need to have a coach that is going to set up your nutrition plan to help maximize all your eating efforts. Because no, it's not just about stuffing your face and eating whatever you want because you're bulking. I hear that all the time. They're like, well, I can eat this much just because, I'm trying to gain muscle and I'm bulking. No, there are specific meals there's meal timing, there's macros that you need to be hitting to make sure that you're performing well in the gym, you're sleeping well at night, your hormones are in check, and then you're eating enough to make all of those physical and strength gains in the gym. Because let me tell you, I have spent years eating over 3,000 calories a day to gain over 50 pounds and keep that 50 pounds. I'm naturally a lean person and I want to be big. I've showed my coach Ant the picture of the person that I would love to look like. And he goes, oh, well, maybe we set a more realistic goal of what you should look like. And he's not wrong, because the goal that I'm looking for might take a little more enhancement than it would just me nutrition and going to the gym. And that's just not something I'm going to do. But like I said, I'm telling you, I see it all the time. People will just be like, I can have this because I'm bulking. No, eating like crap just because you're bulking isn't a good enough reason. And especially when you're trying to make that change of eating more, because it happens. I get a client and we go through nutrition and we figure out that with a majority of our clients that they're barely eating 100 grams of protein a day, because they're like, well, I work out 4 days a week. I'm not seeing any results. I'm not losing any weight. I'm not making any gains in the gym. Well, that's probably because all you did was eat 300 grams of carbs and 60 grams of protein. So you're just still holding on to all of that fat because you're eating like trash and you're not eating enough protein to actually build any muscle, because protein is the building blocks of life. And I'm going to swoop over here to the comments because my client and friend Steven just said 3,000 calories was tough, but it showed great results. I mean, really though, this guy was jacked right now because we bulked. Steven and I, we spent time. I gave him his meals. He's been working on it. And man, talk about star A+ student. Steven, shout out to you. But his results were insane over the period that we bulked. Right? And so we got him up to those calories. Now he's in a deficit because we want to see that muscle gain and lose a little bit more fat. And then guess what? We're going to hit another bulk because we want to keep gaining muscle. We want to keep gaining mass. And you have to be able to do this the right way, which is why I'm coming back to saying you need a coach. Because I've talked with my coach and we talked about my goals. And I kind of made reference to, well, maybe I'll try bodybuilding. And he was like, Caitlin, be honest. Because for me, that might be something that would be detrimental to my mental health. I'm being honest when I say that. The cutting and the bulking and the eating and the counting, it is hard. And if you're trying to do that by yourself, that's just not something that can be sustainable on your own. Because then what I see is people get into this thing where they're constantly like, well, I need to be in a deficit. I need to be eating this. I need to eat this, eat this, eat this, do this. And it becomes an unhealthy obsession. But when you actually have a coach guiding you the right way, you're checking in every single week, you're logging everything that you're eating in your workbook. You know, you have them there to remind you, okay, you know, it's okay that this day wasn't, you know, as perfect as we wanted it to be, or you didn't eat as much protein. That's okay. We have another day. And you need that. I'm someone who needs that because I get caught up in the negatives of me not eating enough protein, not hitting my macros. And I have to be kicked in the butt by my coach Ant, by my husband, by Savannah. And they're like, what are you doing? Get that mind right. I'm telling you, you cannot take this journey of bulking on your own. You can't. Right? So let's go over my 5 tips again. And I keep talking about this one. Number 1, get a coach. Get you a coach. If you are trying to bulk, and not even just bulk, if you're trying to lose weight, lose fat, gain muscle, anything that you're trying to do for you and your body, you need a coach. Hands down, number 1, come to Oxfit. set up a call with me, Aunt Lauren, Savannah, get in this gym. And I promise you, those results that you've been working for all these years that never seem to come or are always just a reach away, we can get them and exceed them. I'm telling you. Number 2, having patience and consistency. Whether it is bulking or losing fat, it could be either one. You need to have patience and consistency with that motivation and dedication, because that dedication is going to keep you going, because you're not always going to feel motivated to go. And you have to be patient with seeing your results, because certain results are going to take time. And that's why having a coach to help you get there, taking all the guesswork out of it, that's why we've perfected our coaching program, because we can get you there. That's why we also, number 3, set clear goals and define what bulking means for us. What does it mean for you? Because bulking for me is turning into the Kool-Aid man to kick down a wall and bust through it. But I have other clients who their goal is to be jacked, but they want to lift heavy. They want to look like an athlete. Me, I'm trying to look like a monster. Right? So set clear goals and define what bulking means for you. Number 4, track your progress. We've got to celebrate the wins along the way. You have to. That is the only thing that is going to make you feel somewhat good when you're in the thick of it and you are just like, man, I want to squat this weight. I want to bench this weight. I've got to do it. I'm not seeing any progress. What am I doing wrong? It gets you out of that bad head state and gets you back on track. That is why it is called tracking your progress. And then last but not least, eating. Look, if you don't have a coach to help you with your nutrition and get you a meal plan, put you on meal timing, making sure you know every single thing that you're doing, you're going to be stuck in the kitchen trying to stuff your face until you're sick, because you don't understand the premise of nutrition. You don't understand what you need to be doing. You just think because you asked AI to write something for you that this is what you need to be doing. AI will never compete with a coach who has an emotional connection with you, who is also wanting you to achieve your goals. AI could never. It could never. All right? So good luck with that if you think that you're just going to chit chat with AI and do it on your own. Look, I'm telling you, if you are someone who is interested in getting stronger or bulking, one of the two, or both of them together, I'm your coach. You can email me. You can DM me. You can comment in the comments below. You can find me on Instagram at OxFitNation or at Coach Beefy. DM me, email me at EastAtlantaOx.fit. Let's do this. Let's do it together, because there's nothing I love more than seeing my athletes and my clients achieve their goals, especially their goals of strength and muscle, baby. I'm telling you, you can ask everyone who knew me when I started this gym. And excuse me for saying this if you get easily offended, but I did. I looked like a crackhead. I looked what is called heroin chic. My forearms were as big as my upper arms were as big as my forearms. I was so itty bitty. It's like in the in the documentary right now about America's Next Top Model, where they go up to that girl and they put their hands around her waist and they could touch their fingers. And they were like, you are the perfect size. That was me. That was me. I never thought in my life I would get down to a size 2 or 4. And there I was, looking like a stick. And it has taken some time to build these hams and these yams. I'm telling you, it's been such a journey. Look, if you're ready just to make a simple change, come to OxFit. Because coming to OxFit, you do one baseline week to retest week, it'll change your life. Just reading a comment. I got to put it up right now. Olive oil from Popeye. Gosh, I hope some people know what that is, because we're old and I don't think everybody knows who olive oil even is. But If you watch that cartoon, I'll look like that bitch for real. I'm going to say that much. But if you are simply trying to make a change to your fitness, to your overall health, come to OxFit. You'll get into a great community, intentional programming. You'll achieve the results that you have been looking for. But if you really want to make a change, you want to lose that fat, you want to change your hormones, you want to completely revamp, change your life, change your habits, be the best version of yourself, then you need to work one-on-one with me, Aunt Lauren or Savannah. All right. If you're a mom looking to lose that baby fat, or you're looking to get pregnant, or you have kids already and they're grown and you're looking just to get back into the best shape of your life, Lauren at Ox.fit. If you're 20 to 30 years old, you're starting a new job, you're out of college, you used to be a former athlete and you're trying to get back into the groove of things, Sav at Ox.fit, Coach Savannah. If you're a business owner, a dad, you're just trying to get rid of that dad fat that you gained after having kids, or you just need to get back to some kind of routine and you own a business, especially, Ant is your coach, Ant at Ox.fit. But if you are trying to get absolutely yoked and jacked and strong, and you don't care that maybe you might not have a six-pack right now, but I'm going to back squat that daddy later, I'm your coach, East Atlanta at Ox.fit. I hope you had your notebooks ready. I hope you wrote down these points. If not, I am going to put them in the bottom of this podcast. I'm also going to post them to my page as well. Thanks for tuning in today, you guys. I will see you next